Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking about $5 bills. Now, most of these are super normal, but I always like to look at the small things that might make them worth, whether it's hundreds or thousands of dollars, a lot more money than you could spend them with. I mean, $5 is not nothing, but with inflation these days, it's pretty tough to get a lot of value out of your $5 bills, and that's why I say, take a closer look. There might be something on the back that makes it strange, might be something on the front, but so much to look for. I've got PowerPoint presentation with a bunch of different error notes that sold for way more than the purchasing power, so excited to explain those to you today. And here's the error I'm going to show first today. Normally I go with the full note, but here it's going to be a doubled first print. You can see in the plate E370, E371. That's how you can tell this is doubled. There's some other signs too, but it's really not super apparent. Somebody was able to identify that and make a nice sale of $1,000, 60 or 1,060. There's also this really cool third print color error. The third print is going to be having the seals and the serial numbers. And in this case, some blue ink was used, really, and should not be the case. I've seen this on one other 2003 or 4 note, I think, from Lincoln, but this one sold for $2,070. Then this one is sort of a classic one that you may be aware of, but if you're not, mismatched serial numbers, you can look for this on any note, and here it's going to say 0900, over here it's 0909. So that's quite a rare error. But this one went into circulation, well worn, but somebody made a good find and was rewarded with $550, 110 times the face value. Here is a tougher to find because it's just much more apparent inverted overprint error. So like I said, last printing is going to be after they've done the main one, they're going to go back in and do the overprint, which has the serial number. This one is inverted, upside down. It looks like either maybe the note was fed incorrectly into the printing press, and here is an $850 error because of that. This one is a more dramatic doubled second printing, so we started out with the doubled plate printing. In this case, this one is going to be a $6,325 error against serial number, but it's so apparently doubled that it's just a huge premium and a really cool note to be able to talk about today. Then this is sort of on the other spectrum. This is 2 notes that were consecutive where the green treasury seal, which you can see right here, was just way over inked. So sometimes you see large ink smears where I think it's called an oscillating wipe, but basically does not wipe off excess ink, and then like on one side there's just a ton of ink smearing it. In this case, it's just been applied to that green treasury seal, but still a $200 pair of notes, so certainly worth picking it out if you see that the seal is able to be seen from the other side or something like that. Certainly rare. Then we have this fold over error that sold for $225. Looks like the fold occurred during the overprint, so this would have been folded onto the back of the note and has since been unfolded, but you have this sort of sliced in half treasury seal. Really, really interesting. This one is the most expensive one we'll be talking about and just not attainable, but I figured if it's a $5 error video, I have to include it. So it's $26,400, a double denomination, $5 on the front, $10 on the back. It's sort of the most sought after error type outside of the Del Monte note, which sold for $396,000. These normally command many of the following top auction histories, and it's just such a rare occurrence and so cool to see. And I always flip over my currency when I get it just to make sure it's not one of these. But the offset printing error here is so interesting because for some reason it was like an inverted on the back. Normally you'd see, maybe it's a fold over error, you'd think, but in this case, the lettering is inverted. It's MC and then 1000. This one is 0994, so 6 or 7 serial numbers later, and it's $125, so not super expensive, but it's clearly circulated quite a bit before being found, so just another good reminder that this stuff can be out there. There's also this inverted back error, and I always didn't think that this was super rare, but A, it's misaligned, but B, basically when the sheets are then fed for, it's separate times that the reverse and the obverse impression, or back and face impression, is done. So sometimes the sheet is not in place when it's fed back in, and that can be the result. Having an inverted back can be the result. But $2,300 is quite a nice sum. This one is more of a standard insufficient ink on the back, so you can just sort of see it running out, sort of the opposite of an inverse smear. Just wasn't, it's quite enough. You can see the weakening as there's the progression across the note. This one was found $240, so again, not crazy, but I think it would be just so fun to find any sort of error out there, and sometimes it happens. I found a gutter fold, and I've found a offset overprint myself going through collections where people just thought it was regular $1 silver certificates in that case, which can be fun to find errors on. Here we see misalignment on both sides, so that's a little bit better, but the overprint would be normal if Lincoln was not so offset and just improperly placed in terms of how the note, it's not like the note was miscut, it was misaligned, because if it was miscut, you'd have the serial number sort of in place. It wouldn't be cutting into Lincoln's face, nor would the Treasury seal, but a very expensive error there. There's also the Treasury and Fed seal. This one's interesting. I'm a little less sure of how this would have occurred, but shifted downward, because it's not like it's the serial number that's been shifted. That remains intact, but the Fed and the Treasury seal are significantly out of place. Only $275 for this error, but strikes me as a pretty cool note to have in a collection. Just way off, and cuts into the lettering, which is really important, or the serial number, and this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. I've also got a printed tear error, so there was a tear somehow in the material that's being used to strike or have the note, produce it, but it's still struck on, and as it's torn, it's not going to lie flat often, so you get a situation where if you untore the note, or like unpress the note, the 273 where it was printed on would be totally sort of out of the, it wouldn't be properly in place. I don't know if that makes much sense, but or 271, it wouldn't be like, that ink gets significantly spread out. Anyways, $250 error. This one circulated quite a bit as well. You can see the folds in it. People just figured, hey, it's a little torn, I guess I'll still use it. But if they slow down, pay a little attention, they can realize what they've got is valuable. There's also this fold over. This I think is really minor, and it must have been on the third printing or something, but somehow there's a folding over of the note, but you see a little bit to the top. There's extra paper that's been retained on the note. This one was released into circulation, wasn't found out, and then somebody must have plucked it out because it's in a 55 grade, $115. Probably strikes me as the right money, not nearly as impressive as some of the other stuff. Anyways, that's what we've got today. Just a really nice variety of $5 bills that have significant errors. I'm going to be learning more about them and doing an in-depth dive into each type of error with a little bit better of an understanding from my part on the complicated process that would lead to each of these, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of those videos. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated. I've also got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so you can follow me there. TreasuretownYT.com is the main channel website. Definitely give that a visit. I've got a lot of information about me up there and the channel. CoinGrabBag.com as well currently redirects there, but it's some good opportunities for very fair grab bags, both made by me and other sellers. A lot of different options, so that's a good way to support. There's also TreasuretownCoins.com. In the future, my coin dealing operation will be done out of that website. CoinMeltPrice.com for updates on the melt prices of your coins, both US and world. A lot of resources in that website. And then CoinsMetalsCards.com being developed right now as a marketplace and news source for coins, metals, cards, and collectibles in general. So I'll see you on my future videos. Looking forward to seeing you there, and hope you have a good day.